G'day guys, goeiedag, hoe gaan dit? My name is Wildkard. Thank you for watching the Wildkard Rugby Show. Like, comment, and subscribe. And yes, you are here today because I have a very serious question I want to ask everybody who's watching this video. And you can let me know your answer down in the comments. And the question is everybody having a lekker braai? Congratulations to all the Springbok fans. You have won the Rugby Championship. I actually have to correct myself with my preview. I told everybody the Springboks could actually regain the #1 position on the Rugby World Rankings if they beat Argentina by more than 14 points, which was completely untrue. There was a bit of an error on the calculation website that I was using. You had assumed that Argentina was playing at home this weekend, which was not true. And for the Springboks playing at home, there was actually no way for them to regain the #1 spot from Ireland because the point difference between the two teams was just way too big going into this match. But regardless, this was an absolute magnificent performance by the Springboks, a more all-rounded performance by the Springboks that pretty much left off what the Springboks was doing in the first half last game against Argentina. Very wide style of game, very strong backbone on the course. A set piece in the scrummaging. We'll have to talk about the scrum in a second. And yeah, and basically, unlike last week, the Springboks played about 10 minutes of rugby. This week, they played the whole 80 minutes, kept the pressure on, and it was brutal. It was absolutely brutal. And there were times where it was like watching, almost like an All Black style of game where they were very wide, attacking, counter-attacking from inside their own 22. A Cardinal Sing, once upon a time considered in South Africa, or in fact, especially the Northern Hemisphere sides, and then found a lot of success, a lot of space out wide, and Apaleta Farsi was incredible tonight. A number of very incredible players. Pieter-Steph du Toit, 18 minutes Ironman performance, absolutely. And again, he was out wide as well, creating space for his wingers. Immediately able to get at the breakdown to support the wingers. He shouldn't get tackled. And just, 80 minutes, he was pumping it through, scoring, 2 tries tonight. Incredible performance. And obviously, the backbone of the Springbok rugby is the scrummaging. And we'll have a look at it. The scrum was dominant from the get-go. It was pretty bad. It was like the first scrum of the game, I thought could have been a penalty try immediately. But I think that Penal Keith don't want the game to be immediately down to 14 players. So he actually let the Argentinians slide on the first. Literally, if it was penalty try, it would have been a yellow card. And you don't want the game to be played with 14 players immediately because of a scrummaging. And we'll have a look at what the issues are right now. So, when this scrum was packed, I immediately knew that the Argentinians want to get destroyed. This is Thomas Gaggio. And you might be seeing something that's very wrong already in the scrum. This is just an engagement. Gaggio is actually supported by the flanker. He's hardly attached to his lock. As you can see, the angle that he's coming in, he's trying to get in on an angle on Malherbe, but Malherbe is just too experienced, too good. I mean, when you do this sort of things, sometimes it works, but if Malherbe is already in a good position under your hooker, this is just not going to do anything for your own team. And especially if you are not binded properly, you're not even supported by your own lock, there's only going to be one result, right? I mean, the flanker is not going to be able to hold you when you don't have your lock supporting you there. This was actually a slightly better scrum there. But in another case, it's basically the same. Rinse and repeat for the Springboks. It's just, we could just quickly go through and see another scrums, and we can see exactly what happened here. So let's go have a look at this one. You can see, once again, Gaggio is trying to get an angle on Malherbe, but he's actually moved himself away from his own lock post-engagement, and he's basically supported by just the flanker. You see, again, he shifted his hip out, and he's actually not supported again by his own lock. He's propped up by his flanker here, right? And as you can see, this time he didn't quite get the angle on Malherbe, and Springbok just walking right through. And you can see his own lock is popped out because his lock is not actually attached to the prop. And that has been pretty much when I saw this, I was like, what is going on? I wasn't quite sure this was almost like a coaching issue. They did make a change in the lock position in the Argentinian side. So maybe that was the issue. The locks were changed from the week before for the Argentinians. So let's have a quick look at it. So yeah, Thomas Lavanini was caught in. So maybe that's just, but yeah, Pedro Rubulio was actually on the number 5 side last week. So he's actually shifted from 5 to 4. And that's, yeah, like that is maybe the difference between the setup there. Like the two players hasn't really worked together for a while. But yeah, it was pretty bad. And like it was actually hurting my eyes a little bit just watching that, to be really frank with you. And yeah, so that aside, there was a red card to Pablo Materas. So he's going to miss out, yeah, potentially the whole November Test Series. Someone that's been so good. I actually, one of you guys actually asked me to put on, who will be Player of the Year from the Southern Hemisphere nominations. I thought Pablo Matera deserved a nomination there. But hey, that red card could have just lifted him off that list. Santiago Carreras also had a yellow card for deliberate knock-on, but he playing out of the 15 jersey tonight, I thought was a little bit lacking. Like the kicking game wasn't quite there. They kind of like played into the Argentinian, the Springboks style of kicking game. The kicking game wasn't like they were not, initiating the kicking game. They were kind of like responding to the kicking game, which led to like the Springboks able to play pretty much in the territories that they wanted to play for the entire game. The credit has to go to the Argentinians for fighting till the end. They did, despite the yellow card, the red cards, they still were able to, still were pushing for the tries right till the last minute, trying to get themselves a consolation, and they were not able to do so. The one try they did able to score was a really beautiful try. They found a bit of a gap in the rush defense, post contact offloads, like just really beautiful stuff. One of the key improvements that the Argentinians has been focusing on this year is that post-contact, offloads and creating space for those runners through, to follow through, and they've been doing that quite well. That's pretty much how they beat the Wallabies, using that technique, using that skill set they've been developing. They were able to find one try against the Springboks, but yeah, the home crowd was really good. Then I think that a lot of that home ground pressure was really building upon the relentlessness from the Springboks performance tonight. And yeah, massive win, 48 points to 7. And yeah, winning the Rugby Championship since 2009 for the Springboks. And it's quite a nice feeling, especially ending it with a massive dominant victory. Argentina is the only team to beat the Springboks this year in the Rugby Championship. So that is definitely something to be proud of. And yeah, even the All Blacks couldn't do it, 2-0 to the Springboks. And yeah, this is a very comprehensive Springbok team. Again, 10 changes to the team, completely different style, new, more experienced players on the field tonight for the Springboks, and delivered massively all the way till the end. And yeah, let's have a look at the match stats. Let's see what were the difference in terms of the statistics. Springboks 7 tries to 1. 765 run meters to 220. That is outrageously high. That is like All Blacks, Fijian level of run meters. And this is not just because the Argentinians were bad at the game. This was the Springboks, like I said, was much wider on their attacks. They were happy to counter attack from inside their own half, inside their own 22, and they were getting these massive meters as a result. And they were happy to just kick the ball whenever they want to. There was a Swiss knife of tools that was on display tonight out of the Springboks team. 19 turnovers considered for the Springboks, 15 against Argentinians. So there was a lot of pressure on the Springboks as well from the Argentinian defense. But despite that, there was just way too many missed tackles. 30 missed tackles for the Argentinians out of 170. Definitely on the high end there, 15, over 15%. And the Springboks not too good themselves, just about 20% missed tackle count, 19 missed tackles out of 99. It just shows you the potency of the Argentinian attacks themselves. I think there was one stat, the defenders beaten as well. 30 defenders beaten for the Springboks and only 19 for Argentina. That's once again showing the potency of the running attacking game from the Springboks side. 28 kicks in play for the Argentina 16. Like I said, the Springboks control the kicking game. It wasn't like, this is a key area, right? 595 kick meters from hand for the Springboks and 482 kick meters from the Argentinians. So despite almost doubling the kicking amount, the meters wasn't just like randomly punching the ball down the field. There was very strategic in a lot of those little chips behind to try to find that little bit of space behind the defensive line. Just adding that little bit of spice and variety in their attack. Jaden Hendrickson was the goal kicker for this week. There was some talks that Cheslin Kobe was gonna take the goal kicking. I thought for sure Rasmus would have backed Mane Leborg for an opportunity again this week, but no, they actually have to decided shifting away. So Jen Hendrickson missed a few actually, and there was at least one that was quite easy. I thought it should not have missed it. Yeah, there was one of the penalties wasn't too hard. I shanked it as well. So yeah, Mane Leborg probably be looking at it thinking, ha, I'm not the only one who's missing this, kicks that's pretty much right in front. So yeah, I guess that's again still a thing that they need to be work on. They can't, I guess Sasha will be the backup plan now without if Henry Pollard should go down. But yeah, they still, if both Pollard and if Pollard retires and it's just down to Sasha as the only goal kicker, that is still on pretty shaky ground for the Springboks. So they still need a backup goal kicker from that setup. Coming to lineouts now. 0 lineout loss for the Springboks. 3 was disrupted against the Argentinian throw. So really, really well done. There was so much pressure. I think there was one lineout that was not straight as well. Just elementary errors as a result of the pressure. And the scrummaging, 0 scrum loss for both sides, but there was overwhelming dominance for the Springboks, almost a penalty every time. There was the first 5 scrums or straight 5 penalties to the Springboks, where the referee had to give a warning for a potential yellow card should the scrum continues to decay for the Argentinian side. Finally, penalties conceded. Once again, world-class discipline from the Springboks. Only 7 penalties conceded. And the Argentinians, 11 penalties conceded. 1 red card. Sorry, that was 1 red card and 1 yellow. I'm pretty sure it was 1 yellow card. Is that 2 yellow cards? Who was their second yellow card? I know the Carreras got 1. I know Matera got a red card. Did they count the Matera's yellow card twice? A red card as a yellow card as well? I'm pretty sure there was only 2. Yeah, maybe I'm wrong. Let me know. So yeah, that's Matera's gonna miss out a few games, and very, very comprehensive performance by the Springboks in Mbombela. And this was where they beat the All Blacks a couple years ago as well. So this could become one of those places where the Springboks starting to build a bit of a winning streak for themselves there as well. So yeah, let's have a quick go through the game and go through all the scoring. Bit of a recap. So Springboks was pretty much dominant right away with scrum. Just penalty after scrum penalties inside of Argentinian 22. You took eventually 8 minutes for the Springboks to build into a try, build those scrum penalties into a try. The ball came out of the scrum. There was just some good hands. It was a nice angle. Again, upper letter fastly, slot into the back line. A nice angle, punch straight through. Try time, a strong carry. Hendricks kicked this one, 7 points to 0 for the Springboks. 14 minutes into the game, another scrum penalty for the Springboks. And then they kicked the ball out for the line out. And then the ball was shifted out wide to Cheslin Kobe. He got really close, and then the Springboks just piling in, pick and go. Eventually, Peter-Sepp Dutoy kind of went over the rock, and Argentinian was like, oh, you can't jump over the rock. You can't jump over the rock, but you can reach over the rock like he was doing when you're going for the try. And he was able to get over. He looked like he may have knocked the ball on, but the referee couldn't find the camera angle to decline the on-field decision, I guess. I thought that was the TMO basically said, if your on-field decision is good, then I'm happy. But because one of the hand, whether or not the ball one hand definitely was dislodged, but whether or not he had contact with the other hand was not able to be seen with the camera angle that was shown. 14 points to 0 to the Springboks regardless. And then 18 minutes into the game, you look like the Argentinians was going to fight back again, put a bit of pressure on. The Springboks rush defense, again, post-contact, was not able to shut down the offload, and Argentina broken through, some good hands between the players, and the Thomas Albernos, the number 10, goes in for the try under the post, 14 points to 17. And at this point, you're kind of thinking that, hey, maybe Argentina can pull up that, that comeback style like they did against the Springbok last week, and also against the Wallabies. Note from the kickoff, there was a penalty to the Springboks. Pretty much immediately, and then they kicked 3 points, 17 points to 7, and then 29 minutes into the game, there was 2 yellow card. There was Matteo Carreras had a yellow card taking out Apaleta Farsi in the air here. So I completely forgot about this one. He'd taken out Apaleta Farsi in the air on a high ball. I thought it was a bit of poorly timed challenge, and there was a yellow card to him. 32 minutes into the game, Springboks, yes, 32 minutes against Springboks, again, with the player advantage, putting a lot of pressure, a lot of wide play. Once again, the Cheslin Kobe down the sideline, the ball was popped off the ground to Apaleta Farsi, who was just waiting for the ball and just punched himself through, really close to the try line. 22 points to 7. Hendrikse misses this one. 37 minutes into the game, another penalty for the Springbok. They went for the line out. Again, nice flat ball. Again, center field to Farsi. I thought Farsi could have probably gone in himself there. He had a bit of space in front of him after receiving this flat ball from Mane the Bok. And then he decided to pass the ball wide anyway. The ball went out wide to Cheslin Kobe once again. And he still had 2 players in front of him to work through. And he bumped through both players going in for the try, showing a lot of that strength. 27 points to 7. Another missed kick for Hendrikse. And then 45 minutes. So yeah, that was pretty much the end of the first half. Second half starts, 5 minutes in the second half. There was a penalty pretty much right in front. Hendrikse misses another one. And 55 minutes into the game, Pablo Materas gets sent off for a yellow card. He went in for a clean out. I thought this was pretty soft. Wasn't really that much of an issue. I think the issue for Pablo was he didn't wrap. If he actually made a better attempt to wrap in the clean out, I think it would have been adjusted yellow card, but he did not wrap, and the yellow card was upgraded to a red card. 20-minute red card was in play, but yeah, before the replacement could even come on, the what was his name? Santiago Carreras was sent off the field for the deliberate knock-on, and following this one, the Springboks went for the line out, and they went for the more. Malcolm Marks, the receiver, peeled off and went in for the try. Springboks taking another 7. And the scoreboard is currently, what is it? 30, what is this? 34 points to 7 at this point. And then the 71 minutes in the game, the Springboks counter-attack from inside their own 22. Really nice hands, went down the right-hand side of the field. Apaleta Farsi kicked the ball down the left-hand side, almost a cross-field, downfield kick, and Curdy Ardens jumped onto the ball over the try line, and he couldn't ground the ball, couldn't get control of the ball at all. So no try. Would have been a beautiful try if he had landed on that. 72 minutes into the game, there was another one, basically right away. Curdy Ardens and Petersev Dutoy was down the sideline. Petersev popped the ball to Curdy, ran down. He was tackled about 2 meters short. Curdy popped the ball back to Petersev, who crashed over for his second try for the Springboks, and that ticked the scoreboard up to 41 points to 7. And finally, 76 minutes into the game, 100 Pollais on the field. There was a what happened here? Oh yeah, so yeah, this was a really weird play from 100 Pollais. So again, the Springboks was inside the 22. 100 Pollais got the ball. He did like a weird chip over the top, but it almost looked like he missed the chip, so the ball was just like floating. Like, yeah, the ball was, it was almost like he messed up the little chip over the top, and the ball was just like, was basically like, I don't know, floating randomly like sideways, and you just happened to bounce off the ground perfectly, despite the really weird looking poor kick. Bounced around perfectly for Jesse Krill, and then just scooped it up, ran in for the try. So I wasn't sure if that's how the kick was supposed to go to look like, but yeah, it looked really like, it looked like a, I don't know what you might call it. It just looked like it looked like he completely like maybe like missed the kick, hitting the ball properly, and then but it went just went sideways, and he kind of like bounced perfectly for Jesse Krill anyway. So yeah, it worked out in the end, and then yeah, Jesse Krill rounds in for another try. 48 points to 7. That was the end of the match. That was the end of the score for the match. But the last minute of the game, 80th minute, it was in the clock in the red. Argentina really tried to get a consolation point, and just really building pressure. And finally, the ball was held up over the goal line. Vincent Koch had the ball on his head, and everybody was just like grabbing on his face, right? And Vincent Koch was just like, "Oh my God, get your hands off me!" And then, but eventually, the referee says was held up over the try line, and that was the end of the game. So yeah, congratulations, and hopefully everybody enjoys their braai. And we're gonna have a bit of a time off, and we're gonna do the weekly news, and then we're gonna do the November tests when they are coming up in a few weeks' time. So hopefully you are gonna have a few good weeks, and hopefully all of you guys enjoy yourselves for this massive win. And yeah, look forward to seeing you guys soon. And thanks for watching, and see you guys in next week for the news. Cheers.